Hi, this is Cheryl Gallant, your Conservative Member of Parliament for the nuclear researching riding of Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke. Last Thursday, residents and businesses in the city of Pembroke were given an exercise in acclimatizing to rolling blackouts. Around 9:30 in the morning that day, October 28th, several parts of town went dark. No electricity. Computer backup batteries started beeping. Flashlights were needed for rooms without windows, even though there was plenty of sunlight outside. Businesses with electronic phones lost communications. Medical appointments and some procedures had to be canceled. The hospital has backup generators, so until the government turns the organic fuel taps completely off, hospitals and anyone who uses generators when the power fails should be okay. Luckily for locals, most do not drive electric vehicles yet, and the outage only lasted a few hours, so transportation did not grind to a halt. I'm not sure how teens whose phones were down to the red made it through the blackout. At least children weren't sent home from school this time. Perhaps they'll appreciate those little battery charger backups in their Christmas stockings this year. Canadian Tire usually has some pretty good sales on them in December. Workers did not have to go without lunch if they needed to be heated or plain forgot to pack one. This wasn't our restaurant industry's first rodeo. Fortunately, places like Joe's Family Pizza in downtown Pembroke has gas ovens. Joe's Pizza also just won an award. This month, Joe's was named to have the best take-home pizza kit in Canada by Canadian Pizza Magazine. Look out, Chef Boyardee. Not sure what they're going to do when Trudeau has his climate czar, the former internet censorship minister, turn off the gas in Canada. Yep, that's the plan. It's called net zero. It means our economy either emits no greenhouse gases or offsets its emissions. No one disputes the need to reduce harmful emissions. This issue is our socialist government fomenting a crisis to push us into it before the pieces are in place to make the transition responsibly and with compassion. We're already feeling the bite now with the carbon tax on its way to the current maximum of $170 a ton. Next year, the pain is poised to injure in earnest. The current energy shortages and accompanying high prices are just a bonus round for Trudeau and his net zero disciples. In 2022, the clean fuel regulations enter into force. Gasoline blended with ethanol will only be sold at most pumps in Canada. Gasoline diluted with ethanol burns more quickly. This means you'll be visiting the gas bar more often because the higher the ethanol content, the lower the carbon intensity, which means you won't go as far on the same tank of gasoline, all else being equal. It also means you'll have to be extra careful when you fill up gas cans for your lawnmowers and other small engines. As oil and vinegar don't mix, neither do ethanol and gasoline. When left sitting for any length of time, they separate out, and the ethanol can corrode metal, degrade plastic and rubber. That clogs up carburetors, and they're hard to find these days. Government limits on the amount of high-test gas that will be refined will make it harder to come by and, of course, more expensive. If you thought Trudeau's eviction from the Petawawa beaches was bad, wait till you can't even get onto the river with anything powered other than an electric trolling motor. Besides cutting fuel with ethanol at the pumps, propane and natural gas are to be phased out together with gasoline. This is part of what it means to be net zero. Already this fall, the lowest price for propane is higher than it was at peak price last year. If you just use propane for the barbecue, it may be less of a hardship, but many rural Canadians use propane to heat their homes and cook their fuel. And for those who appreciate the warmth of wood, heat, enjoy it while it lasts. People who take climate change to the extremes even want to ban wood burning stoves. Many rural residents have wood stoves to keep the pipes from freezing when our power goes out, which it frequently does in the Ottawa Valley. Net zero is a push to using electricity instead, preferably generated by wind or solar, which brings us back to last week's dress rehearsal for the blackouts to come. In Ontario, we depend on nuclear energy for 60% of our power, hydro for about 25%, 4% gas, and the remaining 10% on wind, solar, and biomass. The wind, solar, and biomass are unreliable, so gas and uranium fuel are needed as a backup all the time. Besides the increased power demands as vehicles and small engines switch to electricity and overall growth of society, we have another challenge. Our new environment minister, a climate theology graduate, the former internet censorship minister, wants to shut down nuclear power. He, together with all the other radical socialists in their coalition of the left, absolutely detest nuclear power. They want to eliminate fossil and fissile fuel. For Ontario, it would mean losing 60% of our base load, our reliable energy evaporated. That may all be possible over time. Chairman Z and his communist comrades get a pass, of course. They can go on building coal power plants, but here in Canada, we'll be freezing in the dark. Live from Ottawa, this is Cheryl Gallant wishing you a good night.